Howdy, folks. I'm roaring roasted chestnuts, righteously roasting rude rhododendrons.
I'm Amber.
And here are more rhododendrons for us to roast. Apparently, chestnuts, they've had it. They've had it up to here. Roasting on the open fire no more. Instead, now, they are throwing everything else onto the open fire. Poor rhododendrons. They made a bad choice today.
I was assuming that roasting as in like just saying rude things right back to them, but I guess they have other plans.
Yeah, let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Take My Cousin's Baby Home After She Left Him at My Party? I'm a 28-year-old female, and I hosted a holiday party last weekend for friends and family. My cousin Maya, a 26-year-old female, showed up with her 9-month-old son, even though I'd made it clear that this was an adults-only event. When she arrived, she brushed off my reminders about the no kids rule, saying that she couldn't find a sitter and it would only be for a few hours. At first, I tried to be accommodating, but within an hour, Maya completely disappeared. I thought maybe she had stepped outside for a call, but she didn't come back for 4 hours. I had no idea where she went or when she would be back. Meanwhile, her baby was crying on and off, and I was stuck playing babysitter at my own party. I tried calling and texting her, but she didn't answer. Eventually, I got a reply saying, "Don't worry, you're great with kids, be back soon." At this point, I was livid. And when the party ended, Maya still hadn't returned. I called her again, and I told her that she needed to come and get her son immediately. She replied that she was too tired to drive and asked if I could drop him off at her place. I refused, and I said that she needed to figure it out because this was not my responsibility. She eventually showed up 2 hours later, visibly annoyed, and grabbed her baby without saying a word. Now she's telling the family that I abandoned her in her time of need and made her feel unwelcome at the party. Some relatives are siding with her, saying that I should have just dropped the baby off to avoid drama, but I feel like she completely took advantage of me. Am I the jerk for refusing to take her baby home and standing my ground? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And I would make sure that people have the full story here because I don't see
Mm-hmm.
how anyone could side with her. She dropped her baby off without notice, left you to babysit when you hadn't agreed to. Like, she's lucky you didn't call the
Yeah,
police.
I mean, I think that was OP's only mistake here, was not texting her and saying, if you don't get back here within 5 minutes, I'm calling the police.
So for every relative who says that, be like, you're just lucky I didn't call the police on her.
Yeah.
And next time, well, not that you should invite her over again, but like let them know that like if she ever leaves her child again, like they're going to be on the hook if the OP can't get a hold of her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what Maya did here was calculated.
Hmm.
She knew that she was going to come to the party, drop off the kid, so that she could have a fun time on the town.
Hmm.
And she was using OP as free babysitting because she's like, OP will be at home all day or all night, so I can just use her to take care of the child.
Yeah, it was wrong. It was irresponsible. You can't just leave your kids and expect someone else to watch them without even informing them. That's not
Well,
okay.
yeah, I mean, did they also leave the supplies there for OP to take care of the kid? What happens if they're hungry? What happens if they need a change? You know, all these different things that children that age need. So it seems like it could have, it was downright neglectful.
Hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Shammy Dammy says, "Come get the baby now or I'm calling the police for abandonment." And Keshun Maker says, "And that should have been the first message that she sent when she went missing." And a sweet tweet Rose says, "Exactly. Returning a 9-month-old to a neglectful parent, and the question is, should I have brought the baby back home, presumably with no car seat? We're a family of terrible people on the scale of not so bad to worse. How bad am I?" I don't think you can blame OP for not this. We don't know whether they have a car seat in their car or not. I mean, this is a pretty big speculative jump.
Yeah.
It could be that OP takes care of the child a lot, and this is, just kind of an expected duty that they have at this point in time. And Is Humera says, "I think that if the 28-year-old OP doesn't have children, she might not understand this. I'm a 43-year-old dude with no kids, and before Reddit, I would have just sat there with the kid all night being like, what do I do? But thanks to me reading so much on Reddit now, I know that if you can't get a hold of the parent, you have to call the authorities. If OP has children, then there's really no excuse for this." I mean, again, like 28 with no kids, they may just be completely flabbergasted about what to do.
Well, and people, it's hard to call police on family members, especially when it doesn't feel like the gravity doesn't always set in on what they're doing because OP knows they're a safe person.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the optics from the outside, it's very different from looking at the optics from the inside.
Yeah.
OP obviously like was going to step up and take care of the kid, so the kid wasn't actually unsafe.
Yeah.
But the problem is that there was no assurance of that. The cousin didn't even tell OP, so who's to say another party goer couldn't have kidnapped the kid when no one was looking?
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, My Girlfriend Ripped Up a Photo of My Ex and I. So here's the story. My girlfriend is a 23-year-old female and I'm a 30-year-old male, and we got into it tonight. Recently, my ex-wife brought me a bag of my stuff and some bits and baubles from when we were together. Inside the bag was a Christmas ornament with a photo of she and I inside of it. The ornament says, Our First Christmas 2017, which was 2 years before our son was born. Our son is now 6 years old and he lives with me. She's still around and she's a good mom, but she sees him on the weekends. I brought the bag of stuff into the house this evening and then I tended to some errands. When I got home, my girlfriend was dangling the ornament from a finger and asked what it was. I told her. I then told her that I independently put it away in a box where I kept the old photos, notes, and letters, like a special box to tell him stories about when he's older. When I was 16, my dad, with whom I am very close, found an old trunk of family photos. He got so excited that he sorted through them for hours and hours. He told me stories about our family, his life in the 60s and 70s, and all about his parents and their parents, friends of the family, and people that had passed. It meant a lot to me. Since then, I've been putting away the little odds and ends that I could keep to show my boy when he gets older, and he could decide if he wants to keep that stuff. He won't remember me and his mom being together. So it would have been nice to show him when he's older so that he could understand. Well, my girlfriend took the photo out of the ornament frame and ripped it up and said that no one should see it and that it didn't matter because there are plenty of photos on Facebook. I told her that physical photos are special to me and mean more than social media nonsense. I told her that it wasn't for me and it wasn't for her to decide. It was for my son when he got older. She then shut down before saying, whatever, my feelings don't matter. She got mad and left. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. She destroyed not only your property, but an important memory for your child.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong with holding on to mementos from past relationships, particularly when kids are involved. Kids should be able to have photos of their parents together. I not like if things were really traumatic or anything like that, but it seems like it was an amicable split and he just wanted things for the kid to have. And what the girlfriend did was completely inappropriate.
Yeah, if this was a deal breaker for him to keep a photo, then that's something that she could have said. Like, I'm not going to date somebody who has paraphernalia of their ex kicking around the house, right? I don't want that kind of baggage. The thing is this, if you date somebody who is divorced, then you're going to have to expect some level of previous remnants of that relationship, right? Just like if you date somebody who's a widower, right? This is a reality, right? You cannot dictate what people keep and don't keep. If it makes you uncomfortable, then you end the relationship. You don't just go and destroy people's property. And I can understand if she felt uncomfortable with this, but again, like, he wasn't, as you were saying, he wasn't ogling the photo. He wasn't like reminiscing on times and to her face and being like, oh, I wish you were more like my ex, right?
Right. If you feel like your partner is caught up in the past, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're getting upset over them just having the little mementos of the past, especially ones that aren't an active part of their daily life, then it may be time to seek some therapy to work on your jealousy issues.
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Pretzel Twisty says, this is the part where you stay true to yourself and put your child first. She's going to taint any good memory of your life before her and now evidently with her, which means that she is going to taint any good memories for your son too that hasn't even come up for him yet either. Whether it's about you and him or him and his mother or about you, him, and his mother. She's going to ruin both you and your kid, man. Run. And OP replies, oof, I very much appreciate this perspective. Sometimes it's hard to see the whole picture when you're in the middle of it. I needed this. Thanks. And Dude What 230 says, this is dumb. My dad's ex-wife made him get rid of all of his pictures with my mother in them out of jealousy. She passed 3 years later, and those were the only ones that existed with me in them. This is ridiculous. Keep those for him and tell him that it's not about her whatsoever. Those special items are for your son. And OP replies, I was thinking this, actually. My dad's parents split up when he was only 3. He has photos of them together back in the 50s, and he adores them. I'm sorry this happened to you. Alright, folks, and our next very strange letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to let my brother's emotional support goat stay at my house? So I'm a 30-year-old female, and I have a pretty normal suburban life. I own a small home, I work full-time, and I have a cat named Beans, who's basically my child. My brother Mike, a 28-year-old male, is a bit of a wild card. He's always been one of those, I need to live free, don't judge me types, and I love him, but he's a lot. Recently, Mike announced that he has a new emotional support animal. Not a dog, not a cat, no. Mike has a goat. Her name is Clover, and apparently she's therapeutic, and he claims that she helps him with his anxiety because her presence is grounding. I mean, sure, goats are cute, but the problem started when Mike asked if Clover and him could stay at my place for a week or two while his apartment is being renovated. At first, I thought that he was joking, and I laughed and I said, Mike, you're not serious. He was very serious. He told me that Clover is basically a dog and that she's house trained. Let me clarify this. This goat wears a diaper. Mike swears that she doesn't chew furniture much and that she only bleats when she's stressed. I told him absolutely not. I have a small house, a cat, and a life that does not include a goat in diapers living in my living room. Mike flipped out and accused me of being unsupportive and anti-mental health. He said that I don't understand what it's like to have a real emotional struggle, and that Clover is a lifesaver for him. Now my parents are getting involved, and they think that I'm being unreasonable and that I should make a small sacrifice for family. My mom even said that it's just a goat, stop being so dramatic. I told them that they could take Mike in and Clover, but they said that they don't have the space. Meanwhile, Mike is posting passive-aggressive stuff on social media about how family should be there for you in times of need. He is also claiming that Clover has nowhere else to go, which makes me feel awful, but I still don't want a goat in my house. So Reddit, am I the jerk for not letting my brother and his emotional support goat stay with me? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. It is not your responsibility to house your brother's goat. He chose to get a goat. It's his responsibility if he can't be in his living situation currently to find one that is goat friendly. Your house is not goat friendly. Your house has things you don't want shown up. And Opie's also stated, I believe in the comments, that he's not okay with having the goat outside, that the goat has to be in the house. Which goats aren't even like designed to be in houses. Like, they're not domesticated in the same way cats and dogs are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the issue here is that he is unwilling to compromise, and I think that if he wants to be over at OP's house, then the goat needs to be outside, right? And goats, again, they're hardy creatures. They are able to survive outdoors, and maybe they can put up like a temporary place for the goat to be at outside. But this is an unreasonable request because OP doesn't have a goat-proof house. Now, goats, they'll chew on a lot of different things, and despite his assurances, there may be a point where the goat just starts eating cords. They may eat, different, furniture or chew on different things, and then that could make the goat sick. That could also, destroy OP's property, and I don't think that OP is looking for that kind of stuff. And I think that he really needs to consider why OP is not wanting this goat inside, right?
Well, I also, the audacity of saying you don't understand what it's like to have mental struggles. Like,
Yeah.
lots of people do and still don't want a goat living in their house.
Yeah.
And so he seems to have main character syndrome where his plight is the only thing that matters and everyone has to accommodate him, or they're ableist and they don't understand, mental health struggles.
Yeah. Why do you think that his apartment is getting renovated?
I mean, now that you mention it, it could very well be that the goat has messed things up.
Yeah. It's either one, I think that they're renovating the apartment because they're making it goat proof. And it's because like there's a lot of laws that say that you have to support a emotional support animal. You can't kick somebody out of an apartment for that. So it may just be that they're renovating it to make it more goat friendly, or two, that the goat has chewed things up and is not as great indoors as Mike is letting on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that OP should know the reason why why the apartment is getting renovated before they even allow Mike to set foot in their own apartment. And the last kind of thing that I want to talk about is the parents and not having enough room. Well, what makes them think that OP has enough room for living and having a goat in their house, too?
Right. Well, and you still don't get to volunteer other people to do things. Like, it doesn't matter if your house is too small.
Yeah.
Like, you can want other people to do this, but, like, at the end of the day, it's not their responsibility. You can't just voice it on them.
Yeah. I think, again, like the compromise there is they can take Mike in and Mike can shelter his goat. They can have the goat outside. I mean, there's a lot of different things that they can do to accommodate Mike and allow him to continue to stay with them, but not necessarily have to worry about having room for a goat.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has yet another joke.
Did you hear about the man who lost his job at the coin factory? They say he stopped making sense.
They did. I know that man. He was me. And I've got Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy special Sunday, folks. I hope your Sunday is off to a special start. And you know what makes it special? You do, and Amber does too.
And Brian does too.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on putting babies into space or just like not abandoning babies.
If you are a parent and you need to leave your child somewhere, make sure you have a sitter who has agreed to watch the child who you know you can trust.
That's right, folks. Don't put babies in space. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.